then we went deeper, and we found like eggs, like big eggs. And there was also a worm, like a giant worm. Like this, not giant like the size of you, but the size of like Omi, a big worm on the ground. And we tried to attack it. Its move was it could vomit like stomach acid or just acid. It could vomit acid. We killed it, and then we went deeper. And we heard like rumbling, and then we found a giant worm that's been laying all the eggs. It's like a giant, like it's like the size of like a house, like 3 houses combined. It was massive. And at first, like Brayden threw an egg into its mouth, and it just swallowed it. It didn't really do anything. And then it tried to take a bite out of Matan. Luckily, it didn't swallow him whole, but it did like 20 damage, and he was on like 1 health or something. And we had to heal him. What do you call it? We had a big battle scene. The thing that drive the big worm off was Eric rolled a 20 on like scare, and so he scared the worm somehow. And it wasn't really scared. It was kind of just frightened, and so it went back. It burrowed its way back into the ground, but it comes back in 10 minutes, and so we tried to get out, but for some reason Yer kept breaking open the eggs, and we had to fight like 6 worms. And then we got to the and those worms are hard. They have like these tiny worms are really hard to kill for some reason. And what do you call it? Then we had.
What weapon do you use?
I have warp knives.
Oh, cool.
It's a knife. It's just a normal knife. Not a normal knife, but it's like a futuristic knife that I can throw, and I can teleport wherever it's stuck in the ground.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's why it's called a warp knife. But only like 20 feet, which is like 4 squares. Not that far.
That's cool. So, so do I get there too quick, or is that perfect timing when I got there?
Perfect timing.
Okay. Sounded like you guys were sword fighting or something.
Yeah, there's like, we were just doing, there's a piano, and Brayden was playing like the Among Us song, since he knows like piano. And there's like, we were just running around, and we had what do you call it?
A nice house.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's nice. And then we faced another challenge. We were trying to escape, but the entrance was like super. It was like the entrance was up high, so we had to climb up there. The druids in the futuristic campaigns are robots that can transform. Instead of transforming into actual animals, they transform into like robot animals. And so one of them transformed into like a robot, like gorilla, and then it could carry 3 of us, and it carried me, Yoga, and I think Eric.
Yoga's in this one still?
Yeah, the entire fight he was hiding behind a big egg.
That's funny.
But he healed Matan. And the ironic thing is Matan tried to kill him, and he saved Matan from death for like 3 times. But Matan tried to cut off his head, and he hates Yoga for some reason. So we all hate Matan still because he hates Yoga. And then we're like, look how nice Yoga is. He heals you, even though you tried to cut his head off.
Oh.
Well, he did cut his head off. He successfully cut his head off. Matan did, like when he was like in the plane, he cut Yoga's head off for no apparent reason. William's our D&D master. He just said that Yoga's, because Matan asked who's driving the ship. And he said he made up a character, and it was Yoga. He described him, and the second after describing him, Matan said, "Can I cut off his head?" And he said, and the D&D master like contemplated. And he said, "Sure, I guess, because it's not a player. It's just like an NPC, I guess. You can kill NPCs even if they're ally. It's just your choice." And so he just cut his head off immediately after, and so we all hated him. Not like actually, but just in the game.
That's crazy.
And then, yeah, Yoga was hiding. We Brayden and Matan were the only two left down there, and so, but just as the big worm was about to pop out of the ground, Brayden was good at acrobatics, so he did like a giant like twirl jump back on. Like he rolled like a 17 or 18 like plus 3, and so he got like a 20 basically. And so he jumped onto the top right as the worm was coming out of the ground, and it swallowed Matan whole. And then Matan was in like complete darkness. Even though he had dark vision, he still couldn't see anything. And he was like in the worm's stomach. And there's like acid dripping, like stomach acid dripping from like the top, and he tried to cut a hole like it's from the stomach with his dark saber, and it made a little hole, but the worm like swallowed him in deeper, and then that's where we left off. It's short. It sounded short, but the battle scenes, we had so many. It was like nonstop action this time. It was like we were fighting worms and a big worm and all this other stuff.
Crazy.
There's cookies and goldfish and other snacks.
I made a really good roast chicken with biscuits, butter biscuits, mashed potatoes.
Yes.
So good. Vegetables, which you won't eat peas and carrots, but it's so good.
I can eat peas.
Homie loved it. Homie was like all about it.
She was?
Yeah, she loved it. Like the biscuits. I hope there's still some left. Actually, I don't think she liked the biscuits that much.
She didn't?
Dude, I put butter on those biscuits. I air fried them.
I'm surprised. Usually she likes like the bread more than like the other stuff.
She was eating the chicken up, and she had mashed potatoes. Super delicious. Super delicious mashed potatoes.
She liked the chicken the most?
Yeah, she loves the chicken.
What seasonings do you put on chicken?
Nothing this time. It's just the roasted chicken though. Like when I air fry it, and it makes the skin really crispy.
You didn't put any seasoning?
No, it's already good. You just put some barbecue sauce on it. And some chicken sauce. A million things I gotta remember to do right now before I forget.